Okie dokie nerds, so we're going to play a SqueeVine League. Sorry I've not been around much the last couple of weeks. I've not played a lot actually. Well, that's a lie. I played a bunch of Cube. Didn't really play much Vintage, had some busy weekends, haven't played any challenges. There's been an absence in videos. But we're back now. We're approaching EW season, which is tremendously exciting. But what's not tremendously exciting is the amount of times a Bazaar of Baghdad will die in a given game. So, we've obviously got our 4 Noxious that we usually play. So we're going to try today main decking 2 petrified fields. Okay, everyone in their gran has 4 wastelands in their deck at the moment, plus a strip mine. Sometimes some Besages as well. So Bazaar of Baghdad is draw 2 cards, discard 3 cards, and then put your Bazaar into your graveyard. So yeah, we're going to try main decking a couple of fields. It's a card I've historically not liked just because it's so horrendously slow. And I've got 1 post board as well, just to, test the card, try and max it as much as possible. I'm still impressed by the 2 Furies main deck, so I'm going for 2 Mind Break traps, so proper bending over to combo, and 3 Force of Vigors in the main. I'm not sure how this is going to play, but I don't feel like I want to be cutting Furies. I've got access to the full 4 post board of each of those cards, the traps and the Vigors. 3 Surgicals, because nobody's registering Bazaar of Baghdad. But then the issue going into something like Eternal Weekend is I think usually there's a higher amount of Bazaars. So just because it's comparatively easier to access than a lot of the other things, right? You need 4 cards, which are tremendously expensive. And then everything else is somewhat comparatively reasonable to a Bazaar of Baghdad. So we've got an opponent for round 1. And this is what we're running through the league here. Who have we got? Be a Bendum. We're on the draw. We don't have a Bazaar, so we'll put all of that into exile. And we'll mulligan this down to 6. So there's our Bazaar. So turn 1 Vengevine. We'll keep this. We'll bottom a Powder. No protection. Just a prayer. But sometimes a prayer is okay. The format's like kind of slow at the moment, so we will see. By slow I mean like when everyone's playing tapping a mana to cycle a lorien revealed. That's kind of slow, right? So we'll see what the old opponent here comes with, and then we'll get to work with our 6 card hand. Right. They have arrived. Mox Emerald, certainly a card you can register. One of the better ones, I've heard. Top 50 or so. What costs green here? There we go. Lorien revealed. It's better than the needle I was concerned about. Ancestral. Right, we still can't protect, so opponent's back up to 7 and fix some mana. A second piece of power, a third piece of power in the opener. So that typically means it's a bug opponent when they open with that much power. Even like the restricted list, blue combo decks are capped to 1 piece of power a turn. But this is clearly non-Lurus bug, so we can expect some Hull Breachers, Leos, and that sort of shit. But for now, we're going to attack them for 4, maybe 8 if we hit a hollow one. We didn't, but we did hit a bunch of blue, so that's nice. So 2 creatures will be cast, an attack for 4 will be announced, and then we've got some protection as well. What a good start. We've drawn one of our 2 petrified fields for their wasteland. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what we think of the petrified field going into this wasteland heavy metagame today. Cool, that was a good start. Obviously their hand was ridiculous, but drawing into double blue there is really nice. So upkeep of Empiric Tutor. I'm not going to fight that, even if it does mean wasteland. We're hoping it's going to mean like combo payoff. And then we can Force of Will and trap their Force of Will. So, another Underground Sea. Into a Dark Ritual, okay. Into a Time Vault. So we can let Time Vault resolve. Then they'll play a Saga, which we can't race. Or we can fight the Time Vault. I think I'm going to fight it, and I think I'm going to fight it with negation so that it goes into exile. Probably should have just... No, I think this is better. Maybe it's not. No, maybe I should have just led on trap there, actually. Because the trap's enabled. Demonic Tutor. Jesus Christ, this was a hand, wasn't it? I'm going to trap Demonic. Because I don't want them to be setting up for a good thing next turn. We've got to assume that one of these cards in hand is a key. There's the key. And the dad had one card. So, ideally for us now, we'll... well, I was going to say draw 2 creatures. But let's activate now, just in case we do. Fury and Squee. That wasn't what I meant. So, let's just discard the lands. We don't need that one in this matchup. And we'll hold the Fury because next turn, even though we're unlikely to use the Fury actively, it's going to help us present lethal next turn. We'll go up to 4 cards, we'll activate, we'll discard something, and then we'll pitch a Fury. They've conceded anyway, so I'm not sure how I used my counter spells there, but in the end it didn't matter. I could have trapped the Time Vault and had Force of Will up for whatever they DT for. But post board against what looks like Beseech the Mirror combo, we're going to want 2 Mind Break traps. We probably don't need the Petrified Fields quite as much. We do want the Snapbacks in case they go and get a Sphinx of the Steel Wind. And we'll bring in a Force of Vigor just in case they're a Saga deck. Revival, despite bringing in an additional green card, doesn't matter quite as much. Fury's almost always dead, so I'm going to actually bring one of those Revivals back in. Do I want a Revival or do I want a Surgical? I'm going to have a Surgical. And the reason is we might just be able to snipe a Underground Sea or something. Or get in the way of the Yawgmoth Wheel pile. That sounds really fucking loose. I liked Leyline against them when I had Leyline on my sideboard. But I'm really unsure about how to evaluate the deck going into Eternal Weekend, because you've got just because of the cost hurdles for paper are very different to the ones online. At the moment, people aren't playing Bazaar online because it's not very good, or like it's not advantaged against a lot of the decks. No Leyline, big game for us. I'm not fighting that. I'd love to, but I'm not doing it. Time Walk, sure. So I can't decide whether we want Leylines or not going into Eternal Weekend. Oh, cheeky. So 4 mana before I've had a turn. 5 mana and no plays. So this could quite easily be a Hullbreacher draw or a Bowmaster draw. And I've been sold up the wrong street. It could also be a Bazaar of Baghdad pass the turn draw, in which we upkeep them into the Shadow Realm. Let's see how this goes. Crunch. And I will fight back with Force of Will. Oh no, they're just... It's exactly what they wanted on 5 mana turn 1, 1 mana turn 2. Taste it. Now what have you got? A Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt's fine. Just 3 cards in hand. So we'll be able to win a fight over a Hull Breacher in this spot. They didn't have one. We will chuck a Lizard into play. There's no point in coming off blue cards when they're like clearly a combo-centric deck. There's no point in discarding the other Bazaar, because if they are combo-centric deck, once we've traded off all of these blue cards, we'll then have 2 Bazaars to just go nuts with. If they want to tap their Academy and misstep the Brute Waller, that's like perfectly fine. It's not happening. So our turn, we get back our Squee. That gives us an additional blue card and a Blazing. So we'll play our Bazaar, and then we'll get in this general fashion. And in my mind at the moment, this Force of Will is going to pitch a snapback, because the Squee is actually quite valuable. So they're doing a good job of finding some lands and mana sources. I think we'll do a better job of killing them. So more blue comes to our hand. We're not going to spin the Bazaar here. Oh, I left the petrified fields in, didn't I? Or did I take them out? Sorry, I've had a long day. No, I took them out. That was smart. Well done, me. So there could be a Tabernacle in there somewhere. We're pretty exposed to Urza's Saga right now. But I think we'd be able to come up with something. My hand's pretty good, so I'm going to activate to see if I can find a wasteland. I cannot, so I'll just have blue cards, I guess. And this is the sort of battlefield that they might just pop a Tabernacle into play now, but that's not something we can do much about. Let's just send some lizards at them. This one, and this one. Crunch. So yeah, we're good against spells, right? I think that's kind of obvious. We're not so good against Tabernacle and Urza's Saga at the moment, but they've got a Mana Crypt. But the Mana Crypt's not very good. It's not working for us too much. Black Lotus, oh sure man, you got it. And a pass. Okay. I do want to find a wasteland at some point, so I'm going to go again. I'll discard Vengevine, I'll discard Master of Death, and I'll discard Mindbreak Trap. I'll attack for 5. They've kept a very strange hand. Ravenous Trap me. Yeah, sure man, that doesn't do anything. Vampiric Tutor I will fight though, because Vampiric Tutor gets Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. They lost the flip at last. 1 card going up to 2. Have you found a tab? Plays a Saga. Saga looks pretty darn slow if you ask me. So now we just desperately need a wasteland. This is tough. No, I think we just attack for 5, assume they don't have the tab, and then they can't kill us and Saga can't kill us. If they have the Tabernacle, we're suddenly in a world of hurt, but we're not a favourite to hit a wasteland, so let's see how this goes. They won the flip, which is pretty unfair. What was that? 3 wins, 1 loss? I thought it was supposed to, like, it's not how that card's supposed to work. Seems rigged. So they play Manifold Key, which doesn't do anything. And now they're going to cast a spell, and it's not going to resolve. So that's cool. Now they'll die. Good round 1. Good round 1. Nice. Sort of cruisy game, that. Unsure about our opponent's keep here. Like, what was it? Realistically. Ravenous Trap. Time Walk. Ruby Jet. And some lands. I don't know, maybe that is fine, but it just doesn't look like it does anything. When you time walk into a swamp, it's like, cool, I now lose. Okay, so we're up against Lord Beerus, who is usually on dredge, but in the leagues they've got a bit more range. So I would like to play first, and I would like to powder this hand. I've got a Bazaar, so that's cool. Yeah, I think I'll keep this, and then we're discarding SqueeVine in 1. They've kept on 7. We need to kind of hope they're not on dredge, because we've got 3 surgical extractions for the Bazaar Mirror, which isn't a lot. I'm going to discard 2 Vengevines and a Squee. That's going to maintain a Vigor. It's going to give us some card advantage, and it's going to maintain Vigor with Revival as well. So, you know, the day we hit 2 creatures, we can discard the other Vengevine and just go ham. But that Vengevine is going to be our discard. So Misty Rainforest is crucially not a wasteland. Check that shit out. Preordain, okay. So usually, like, when I've seen them in the leagues, I say recently, about a month ago, they were very all in on this breach stuff. That's a nice picture. But who knows? All I'm saying is just when we come across Beerus in the leagues, it doesn't mean they're on dredge. We're on the challenges, we assume dredge. So we'll draw a card. Force of Will's a nice one. This is 7. Yeah, I think I'll take a look. So Squee. Vengevine, I guess. And then we'll pass. So we've still got Vigor available, but it's a bit more costly at this point. Ancestral. And then they overdraw from Ancestral. They're going up to 10. We've only got 1 piece of interaction. I think we do use it, but they're probably just going to counter us back, yeah. Pitching Brainstorm. And then it says I've got no permission. Mishra's Bauble. Black Lotus. Gross. Are we just dead? I mean, we were dead even if not. Like, we could have discarded not the blue squee and held up double force this turn. That might have been better. We could have come off the vigor. And like, the moment we bring our guys back, right, the game ends very quickly. But we need to do that first. BBB. Doomsday? Consult. Wild. Naked consult. Named DT, I guess, then, if it stops there. Name's DT. Exiled 1 Thoracle, Time Walk, Necro. Vamp Street Wraith. So what did your DT do then, dude? So maybe they just got a kill here. Gush has gone though, but they can still Street Wraith and Preordain into it. Walk's gone. Oh, but Doomsday. And Doomsday DT for Ancestral. Yeah, that's going to be good, isn't it? They can't get Gush. So Cycler Street Wraith, get a probe. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of shit that's going to kill us here. This is part of the disadvantage of having 2 traps in our sideboard and having 2 petrified fields in our main deck, is when you come across these just two combo decks. But nothing particularly special about that deck though. So Ancestral yourself down to 1, plays Lotus, and then we can't revival them enough. So yeah, so looking back on this game, maybe Bauble's supposed to give away Doomsday, although and maybe my mind's a bit too modern focused, and I felt like that could be a breach card, and then we discard the Vigor because it doesn't do anything against Doomsday, and we have double force, so maybe that wins us the game. So the Vigors and Furies can go, the traps can come in, and then maybe like now the petrified fields can go. Snapbacks just in case of shield rids. And then do we want Vigors or do we want Surgicals? Let's go for Vigors. Yeah, this is a slight issue with the amount of lands that we're playing now, as our sideboarding's a bit all over the place. But who cares? It's fine. This is a favourable matchup usually. There's a good chance I just played that one wrong. Like maybe I just didn't identify the deck I was playing against particularly well. So I'm going to activate here. So we'll discard Lizard, Lizard, Squee. We've got no protection. Do we want to play Hollow One here? I think so. If they force us, then we'll think about it for ages and then let it resolve. There's a good chance they just tab us. And then we'll pitch before they get Flusterstorm mana. But Leyland's kind of done its thing there, right? It prevented a Vengevine, it prevented a Squee. So that's not great for us. They probe me to see nothing. The next turn, we just play Bazaar. And we don't activate regardless of what they do. I mean, they could just kill us here. Quite likely, I think, or quite possible. We need to... So yeah, so next turn, our turn is just going to be draw card. As you know, we can get up to Force of Will, can't we? But then our hands face up. But our hands face up for the rest of the game anyway, because they probed us. So our hands face up until they tell us, until we prove otherwise. Yeah. So they have to, whatever they do, they have to make sure they can beat a Force of Will from our turn. So yeah. I wonder if we're supposed to play this Bazaar and pass the turn, or whether we're supposed to activate the Bazaar we've got and discard the one that's in our hand. And be on 2 cards regardless, possibly with an actual factual Force of Will up. And if I draw a blue card, the next question is, do I play the Bazaar of Baghdad? There's a good chance the answer is no, because then we can discard it to find some squeeze. And then make the Bazaar of Baghdad that we've got an actual engine. I do think about that hand game 1. So it looks like they're going for a ritual here. Yeah. That hand game 1 was interesting. Where I didn't come off bigger. Mate, just chill. So consulting again. Consulted for Doomsday. Exiled Gush, Lotus, Walk. So I wonder how much harder that makes it. Next, so you can Street Wraith into a Sapphire, right? Or maybe there's just no way for them to get up 2 cards. They've got 3 cards in hand. So yes, I think we're activating this Bazaar of Baghdad now, because things like Noxious will become good. Mind Break Trap likely becomes good if they can't get into their pile. There's been some like excitingly aggro use of Consult though, which is cool. The one last game where they DT'd for it, the Consult for DT is a proper baller play. Like, just... I know it's mathematically favourable that it's not going to be in the top 6, but it's just funny to consult for restricted cards. Yeah, this game I don't mind losing quite as much, just because I didn't draw the blue card right off my 1 activation. Yeah, we powered up to here, right? Which are my powder cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Discarded SqueeVine Lizard? No. Oh, discarded Squee Lizard and then pitch Vengevine. Sure. Yeah, we didn't draw a blue card this time, which is fine. So it's game 1 where I'm going to think about it more. because it just feels to me like I should think Doomsday when I see Bauble. I was thinking more about what Beerus played last time I played them. So we're making some sort of pile. This is their exile zone. No Street Wraith. No Lotus. They've got the Sapphire. They don't have their island. 1, 2. From the top, 1, 2, 3. So there's an underground sea in their pile or hand. So let's draw a card. So Vengevine. Yeah, so we're going to activate here. That seems fine. Do I discard the Force of Will? Because they know about Force of Will, right? Gosh is gone. We'll just keep a Force of Will. There's a good chance we just pitch it to a negation anyway. But if they're just on like, they can't be on a Street Wraith pile, they have to be on an Ancestral pile. It's got to be like Ancestral Flusterstorm. There's only 1 tab in the sideboard, maybe they play 2, and this buys them a bunch of time to draw through their deck. That's also a line that they can take. Underground Sea. Ancestral. So they've got 2 cards in hand. And if it's Force Blue, it's great. Preordain. If they play a Petal, then that can get them there. No, they're dead. Sick. So, yeah, more luck than judgment in that one, I think. Just drawing into the blue card in that second activation was enough. Didn't see anything in their pile that makes me think we want that, so I'm just going to bring back this Revival. Let's try and top them. So we'll mulligan, and we found Bazaar and blue card. Powder can go. Leyline of the Void. And it's their first turn, because they lost. Preordain. Sure. So there's an argument here that we can just Bazaar, discard Vigor, Vengevine, ignore the Leyline exists, and then draw as many blue cards as we can. But I think I do take the fight here. And they force back pitching Gush. I'm going to force back pitching Master of Death, which I'm not fond of, because my whole hand's gone. Let's play Bazaar and put a hollow on his play. Yeah, that was a... Oof. That was a banger. So, can they kill us with 3 cards turn 2? Do I want a hollow one or do I want a Force of Will in hand? These are big questions. I feel like the clock is better for now. Is it though? I've got such a good engine. I've got such a good engine, such good card advantage. either way, if I put Hollow One into play or if I put hold Force of Will, I need to dodge this turn. Like, we're completely unprotected this turn. I think I'm going to discard the Hollow One. And discard the Hollow One. And as of next turn, we're going to just build up on cards. And it's going to be very difficult for them to overcome it. They've got 4 cards to kill me with right now. If they do it, congratulations. If they don't do it, we've got the long-term card equity. Preordain. Doesn't look like a kill when we start on Preordain. But like Ritual Doomsday Gush would be pretty difficult. Right. So as I was saying, I've got the good card advantage engine. LMAO. So yeah. Assuming we're just going to be picking up our squeeze and passing the turn. Next then. They've got 5 cards. Mox Jet's fine. I'm just going to wasteland them and pass the turn. Move on to some end step activations where we can easily hold up blue cards and make our decisions easier. That Preordain into Ancestral was pretty screwed up. So Misty. Preordain's fine. Obviously they're crafting like an insane hand here. But the longer they're crafting and the less time they're comboing, the better our little bit gets here. So we'll discard the squeeze. And then we can actually go for it here. Squee, squee, squee. Cast a Hollow One. And I'm going to continue going after their mana. I don't care about Tabernacle. Because if they can't produce mana, it's difficult for them to kill us, you see. That's my big brain plays there. It would be nice if they could miss a land drop for a day. But our Bazaar's getting really good now. 3 squeeze going means Bazaar is just tap, draw 2 cards. There's a tiny caveat on that the Master of Death is a blue card. But they've only got 4 cards, so they have to kill us through a Force of Will. They have to consider Mindbreak Trap alongside that. Like Misstep Mindbreak Trap could be a really scary thing for them to consider. I know that's taking account of a restricted card. But yeah, I think this has gone well. Because one of the sideboarding strategies that people have floated in the past is to take out the Force of Vigors and just tempo them with Force of Will and Hollow Ones. But I just don't think we've got the density to do that. So we'll let this ritual through. And then we'll fight the Doomsday. And if they're holding Flusterstorm Cantrip, then congratulations, you've got it. But if they're not holding Flusterstorm Cantrip, then we're going to get another turn. So Street Wraith goes for a cycle. You do find a Flusterstorm out of that. So is their last card a cantrip? If it is, we're dead, and that's great. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because that Force of Wood is the one I floated the whole game over that hollow one. We're now on turn 4. So they'd be taking lethal if this is a pass the turn pile. Or they might already be dead. Who knows? But I just feel like we put ourselves into a really good position for a long game. They responded with Preordained Ancestral, which is very unfortunate. And yeah. Hopefully that Street Wraith they just cycled was just genuinely cycle into Fluster. They're picking up Underground Sea, which makes me think they haven't got a kill this turn. So we've still got options to draw into blue. In that case, they've got one card in hand. And we get a bunch of squeeze. So yeah, we'll pick all of those up, please. Force of Vigor doesn't really do anything. Maybe it does. Yeah, so we'll go for a completely green stack here. An attack. And then in your upkeep, I have effects. I'm going to Vigor your Jet. Pitching this Vengevine. We're going to Revival your Doomsday. That resolves. And that's enough. Perfect. Sweaty game. Good grief. Yeah, but a good one in a good matchup, but against a strong opponent. So, a nice one. Okay then, so we're up against Martyr1207, who's actually been on Squee recently, I think. I've seen them post some trophies with the deck. So naturally, we've got 3 surgicals. End of list. That's it. That's our graveyard hate. We're going to powder this. None of these cards matter too much. That's a lot of squeeze leaving, but hey ho. We got to keep 7, so that's nice. We're up against Young Martyr 1207, so let's see how we get on. Nor did we end up exiling triple squeeze, a bit offsetting. 1 Vengevine, 1 Chalice, 1 Wasteland. Only one of our chalices, which is nice. Bazaar of Baghdad, yeah. Bazaar of Baghdad, go. Our man's a gamer. Okay. No, thank you. I will spin it. Vengevine, Vengevine, Vengevine. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? They're going to main deck surgicals? I can't imagine so. One argument to holding a Vengevine there is we could discard the powder and draw into Vigor next turn if they spunk a bunch of Parent Toughness into play. If they put some hollow ones into play, Vigor's a good answer to that. So they're going to spin on end step here. They started on 6 cards. So let's see what they come with. Squee Lizard. Sure. There's no point in us doing anything with our Noxious here. Or our misstep. If our misstep can fight a misstep, our misstep can fight a noxious. Probably don't want to auto yield to those, but I certainly don't want to fight them this turn. So opponent's back up to 7. Nice controlling hand for them. Let's see if they can show us some power now. But yeah, I could have held a Vengevine to snap it onto a Vigor. Triple squee, wasteland. Okay, we get wasted. We don't get hollow ones though, so that's dope. So we need to win this counter fight here. So Noxious on Bazaar. And that just gets 3 straight away. So that's cool. So we'll play our Bazaar. We're going to spin it again because we're trying to find creatures, right? That's all we care about. Petrified Field, Force of Vigor. So that's where the Force of Vigor would have been cool. So we'll discard 1 squee and I'll just discard the Vigor now. It doesn't matter. We're going to be in a lot of pain post board with our just absolute lack of interaction. This is one of the downsides of Petrified Field, is it's so slow. Triple squee. They're on 8 cards. Do they have a wasteland? That's a big question. Hollow one. I think hollow one's fine. They don't have a wasteland. They have a strip mine. Okay. So top deck Bazaar would obviously be dope. Bink. Right, what's the discard here? Squeeze Field, Squeeze Fury. I mean, Fury's really good. Maybe I just come off the Force of Wills. Just hold a misstep. Hold a misstep. Because I'm probably holding hollow one here, right? What does misstep counter? Nothing. I take 5, I take 5. If they strip mine me again, which they're likely to do, because they've got 6 cards and triple squee. Fucking hell, sad. I'm going to discard everything, all of these. I'm not going to play my hollow one. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Post board is easy to hold misstep. Pre-board, when they don't have surgical, it's not so easy. So I probably want to fight to get a hollow one into play or something. So I'm not seeing a wasteland. Fuck, man. I could have had a misstep. I could have fought over the hollow one. I could have had a misstep. Alright, we need another Bazaar off the top. I'll pick up 1. Oh shit, that's difficult. I think it's got to be Petrified Field. And we've just got to hit blue card next turn, or red card, I mean. How many vines have you got, sir? 0. Just the hollow one. And another one. Let's fight it. Another Bazaar. So we're going to upkeep our activation once we picked up this chap here. The reason we upkeep it is because then they can't noxious us. Well, I mean they can, but you get the idea. Force of negation doesn't do anything. So we need red card or lizard here. That's good. I'm on 3. Fury doesn't do anything either, right? Wasteland does fuck all as well. Hang on. There's a fucking lizard, Josh. So those two are good. If I'm discarding the master, I'm discarding the force. We're just going to get our brains figured though, that's the problem. These are my Vengevines. Okay. Spin away. Lizard, lizard, lizard. Okay. Do we attack? Probably not. So we kind of have to plop this hollow one into play, right? Because I'm going to send with 2. Does that work? No, 1. So hollow ones are dead. This block's here, this block's here, this block's here. We take 2. We can't pick up the master. We can clear a path and kill them. Okay. So we've got to play the hollow one because we can't rely on having a Bazaar of Baghdad next turn. No vigor. The fuck is going on over there? There's only so many of these masters they can bring back. That answer is apparently 1. Bazaar activation. Okay, this is quite a cool game. I feel like we've been kind of behind for the whole thing. They'd found their first Vengevine. I'm on like 8 cards after a Bazaar activation. So fucking toxic. Go on, spin again. You got to bring it. Give it divine. They're like an absolute lock to have a Force of Will at this point. So our Fury is really bad. No more Ventivines off of that discard. You do have a hollow one though. Okay. Do you have a wasteland as well? That would probably kill us. Wasteland, fuck. It's like their board is wider, our board is bigger. Oh wait, I just killed myself. Yeah, shit. I need a red card right now. I need it to get through. Bigger on my hollow ones, okay. Cool. Yeah, we lose. We were dead anyway, but shouldn't have picked up that squee. We were 1 card away from a Bazaar. I'm not sure about that game. That was all beforehand. They just had the Wastelands, right? And we didn't get the second creature for quite some time. Petrified Field was good though, right? Petrified Field gave us outs, got us to reanimate. But they had the squeeze and that was better. So we want these two. We want this one. We want the Vigor. We want the Furies. We're really lax on this matchup in terms of good cards. So 69 cards at present. Takes us to 63. Cool. So it's not awful. Snapback's not ideal. Chalice is shit. Triple. This is triple petrified field might be a bit aggressive. I'm just gonna do 2 Force of Wills. Maybe we just like get them, you know. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I like it, but that's how I'm sideboarding. They powder away, so they powder away twice. So mulligans to 6. Thank the Lord. All right, double Bazaar, surgical, noxious. His hands pretty fucking fantastic, actually. Oh wait, I've got to put them back. This seems aggressively unfair. Right. I've got 2 Bazaars. I'm going to get rid of the Petrified Field. I've got a Squee. I've got a Surgical. I'm going to get rid of the Fury. So Surgical can protect our own Bazaar of Baghdad as well. They kept on 6. That's not a wasteland, which is cool. I like that not being a wasteland. I usually feel like on the draw you're a bit more inclined to, yeah, do this sort of shit. That not being a wasteland was great for us. Vengevine, Vigor. Okay. Don't have double hollow on. Good. I'm so bad at this game. I didn't mean to click through there. That was pretty fucked up. Never mind. Let's see what we can do. So we want to find a wasteland, ideally. I'll accept a lizard. They discarded a Force of Vigor. Can't say what that means at this stage in the game. What do you think of my hollow one? Yeah? Into it? Okay. So we'll send. And we will play out our second Bazaar of Baghdad, but we won't activate it. Because we've got some... We've got some spells that need casting, you know? 2 Furies got exiled. That was just a big punt and a big mistake on that no end step activation. So, Vengevine. Okay, the lizards are cool. Right then, let's get ready to click buttons correctly this time. So what do we want to do? So we can noxious one of them. But I think I'm going to extract this one. It's a bit annoying. I considered noxiousing first. I'm going to noxious one of them anyway. Keep him off it for a moment. I can't have a second misstep. We've got 2 Bazaars, and that's why I'm willing to punt this noxious. For a fog. I think I could have sequenced this differently. Oh, they've got Force of Will post board as well. Force of Will pitching Force of Will. Okay. The nerds come back. Sick one. Right then. We're going to do some spins. Do we trade off a hollow one here? I imagine that's fine. Yeah, I'm into it. Anything else? Anything else to go with this? Or are you done? I think passing to your end step is probably the best option. Paying costs. I can't beat costs. Yeah, that's fine. So we've got 4 masters have gone. So we'll spin now. Lizard and Fury. Upkeep, we can just double spin now. Petrified Field and a Vigor. Surgical Wasteland. Good lord. That wasn't cool. And then I think we'll just pass. I think we'll chill because they've got a squee going. So we are, in fact, behind. Even though we've got 2 Bazaars. So they've just got a lot more selection and card advantage. They've got another Vengevine in the yard, so if they bring that back, we're in a bit of a hole. And we're just going to have to try and leverage double Bazaar. as our plan. Yeah, we'll take the draw step. So double lizard is cool. Right, that's great. So lizard, lizard, lizard. Don't care too much about... Well, I do care a lot about surgical. That was a lie. And now we'll send with everyone who can be sent. They've got 2 cards in hand. Do you want to trade a lizard as well? Yeah, I think so. I think that looks good. So if those 2 cards are like Fury, right, that really cleans us out. And then we'll strip your Bazaar of Baghdad. There's a jokey argument there, actually. Nah, it doesn't really work. I was going to say we could have like draw stepped it, but then they get the activation. And they get the full activation as well. So they've conceded there. Okay, so do we want to do anything differently? I don't think so. I think the ghost quarters are good. I think the misstep's broken. I think this is fine. I think the only thing we want is to consider in the future if we need 2 more cards for Graveyard Hate. Like another extraction. And one thing I've been thinking about recently is Ravenous Trap. I always preferred that more than the other card that we play, the Leyline. I just think it's so much better because you can draw into it. You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I've got 3 Leylines in a wasteland. Do I keep, you know? And post board, it's so good against the other Bazaar deck, as in Dredge. It's just so busted against Dredge because they typically don't have the blue cards in. So I think next time out, I'll try some Ravenous Traps. But let's go to the game. And see how we get on. Game 3 on the draw in the mirror match when we're under prepped for it is not an exciting place. I'll tell you what is an exciting place though. That is Bazaar on 7 double wasteland. One of our Force of Wills, which is kind of dope. No Bazaar of Baghdad. Well, no Bazaar of Baghdad. No Leyline of the Void is what I'm supposed to say there. Words are a challenge. So, one thing I like doing in these matchups is fighting the Bazaar fight here. So, we're going to lead Ghost Quarter you. And whilst they don't, every turn that goes past and they don't have pressure, we're going to wasteland them. Okay? And then at some point, we'll then play a Bazaar. Because like if they don't have Noxious and they don't have... So it doesn't look like they've got Noxious. If they've got another Bazaar, then that's, you know, upsetting. A wasteland. Okay. Dope. No Bazaar is good for us. So Noxious. So like, right, let's think about this, right? If I play Bazaar here, I've got Force of Will is the one card I'm currently interested in discarding. And I'm not even interested in discarding it. So I think I'm just going to waste their waste and call it a day. Or I'm going to lead Wasteland. And then they can decide whether they want to Wasteland me. Because I can Wasteland them end step either way. So no lands. Cool. So we'll Wasteland them now. You can float a mana if you want to. That's fine. Right. Quick brainstorm. That floating mana can't do anything. I think. I'm excited to be proven wrong. But we'll play our Bazaar of Baghdad We've got Force of Will and Powder, which are easy to get rid of. Fuck's sake. We've got Force of Will and Powder, which are easy to get rid of. That's what I said. So we've got Force of Vigor, Powder, and Fury, which are easy to get rid of. Bollocks. Yeah, I'm going to discard one of the Furies, the Vigor, and the Powder. That's going to give me Noxious Force of Will to protect this Bazaar with. Opponent does have 7 cards, but they've only filtered once. So what does that mean? That means they've got mono-reactive cards? Okay, look at this. No land, discarding to hand size only. Discards to Squee. So we'll go... Oh, baby. That is quite the draw step. Right, actually I want to do this now, don't I? Before they pick up blue card. Yeah. Search for your Bazaars, please. Mental misstep. We'll fight the mental misstep, of course. If you've got Force of Will, then that's fine. Whew. You can't be real. Surgical your Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. So that one gets exiled. So one thing we could do is Noxious our Wasteland, right? Noxious our Surgical their Wastelands, but I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. That was a cool exchange. Nobody came out really on top of it. I am going to spin here, I think. Squee. Fury, I think. Yeah, I just want to get... I want to get going, and I want to have access to as many Bazaar of Baghdad as possible. 3, yeah. I'm going to play a Strip Mine. And now we're cruising. There's no Bazaars in our graveyard, so we're good against Surgical, and we've got triple interaction against Surgical as well. Double Squee. The next Bazaar's on lock. Another Squee. Yeah, let's just... Yeah, this looks good for us, if I'm honest. I'm kind of excited about how good this looks for us. So it turns out... Yeah, so like it's one of those things, right? If they had pressure early, this game's going to be completely different. We would have churned through, we would have found these Furies, and it would have been like a really grindy game. But where they didn't have any pressure, and we had double waste in our opener, we were really able to leverage that. And then at some point, we're going to be able to leverage... So this is a Vengevine. We're going to pop the Vengevine on top there, though. So, well played by the opponent to get to 7 and get the Vengevine going. But we've got the answer. And yeah, them top decking a Bazaar does change this game. Them top decking a Wasteland probably doesn't. And we're going to bring them all back because we've got a Vengevine. There we go. What's it like? What is it like? I can't tell you, actually. But here comes my hollow one. Here are my 2 Vengevines. anything. No responses. So maybe it's just a hand stacked full of Furies and Vigors. But yeah, the lack of pressure early doors led to a slow game where we could take the Bazaar fight. If they'd been able to reanimate that Vengevine, probably a different story. Can also see arguments there for holding that Hollow One, to be honest with you. But it's like if we held it, then we could reanimate next turn if we need to. But it looks pretty difficult for them from this spot unless they've got Vigor. And if they've got Vigor, do we care enough to Noxious a Force of Will on top of our deck? I don't think so. I think we want to fight Wasteland more. Or like protect against Wasteland more. Like Vigor's fine here, I've only got one other Force of Will in my deck, so I'm not fighting this Vigor. I'm just going to take my medicine. We get a spin here. We've got a Vigor now as well. Play the Wasteland, because now we can effectively play through Chinosphere, which is relevant. So in we go. And their Bazaars are dead. Their Tabernacles are dead. Fury would be a sick turn. There's no Vengevine for them to Fury us with though. Okay, yeah. I'm into this. Fury pitch blazing. Have you got another Fury to stay alive with? Okay. Fury, kind of dope. Fury pitching Squee. They're down to 3 cards though. My Vengevine dies. And I don't see much need to pick anything up here, I don't think. Actually, I can pick up a Hollow One, can't I? And that's just like the freest. Yeah. But then I don't have a Bazaar if they Wasteland me later. If they've got one more Vigor in a Wasteland. I don't know. Maybe I'm just playing too cowardly. Like, everything looks like it's winning, so I think I can just wait and chill. Okay, that was exceptionally easy. Like, no wait, no chill. This deck is over it and it wants to go home. Rah. I was thinking we're going to have a few turns here and I'm just hogging this revival for a few minutes to think about it all and just keep it going. Okay, round 4 and we're up against Constructed. So that's cool. Don't know what they play, who they are, why they do it. But we've got a fucking banger. So Bazaar on 7, turn 1 Vengevine, double strip, and a cheeky blue card as well. So I don't think I've played against this player before. Or at least I don't recognise their username. So let's see what happens. That'll be cool. They've mulliganed to 6, which is certainly dope. Mulliganing 6 is like the best amount. 5 is also very good, but when it gets to 4, you're like, oh crap, they're on a Bazaar deck. They've kept on 6, which is nice. No companions. Let's take a draw step. Oh no, I missed it. So yeah, let's give it a spin, see where we get to. Bazaar of Baghdad. Here it is. So pretty easy decisions here. Vengevine, Lizard, Red Squee. That's going to give us Force of Negation for their turn. Plus 9 power. And a good card advantage engine. Get rolling. So the only way this hand could be better is if we had a Force of Will. Really. It's kind of fucked up opener. They're going to force a Hollow One. Pitching a Force of Negation. Okay, interesting. Oh, and they're paying costs again. Noxious Revival. Okay, so another mirror match. intriguing. So I've got a 1/1. And if they've got a wasteland, we're in a world of hurt, actually. So that was not awesome for us. They have got a wasteland. Shit the bed. And we're drawing a Vengevine. This has gone from absolutely fantastic to a complete train wreck rather quickly. So they've got 3 cards though. We're going to hold a wasteland. Or we're going to hold both of them. Because we don't want them to just like do what I did in the last round, right? And just go wasteland to wasteland. We want them to give us the good stuff. And hopefully their good stuff doesn't include high-powered creatures. Hopefully it's just like a squee hand. Mother. So, truly an unmitigated disaster. It's one of those things, I always feel like you're kind of favoured on the draw, but you're kind of favoured on the draw, it feels like a lot of the time in this matchup, but I'm never confident enough to take the draw. Maybe we could try it. I'm going to be on the play game 2. Chalice of the Void. Like, give me something. So, we'll wasteland them. Maybe we could try it just for the science of it, game 2. But like, being able to react to your opponent's Bazaar, being able to be the first one to play Wasteland, this shit's powerful. Yeah, we'll chump block. There's no reason not to, I don't think. So Noxious Revival, best card in our deck. Okay, Noxious Revival is the second best card in our deck. Sorry. So we could take 6 here. I think I'm going to. As tempting as it is, I'm not playing this Wasteland. I'm not playing this Chalice, sorry. Duh. As tempting as it is, I'm not playing this Chalice. So we've taken 6 to obtain like long-term Bazaar of Baghdad's. It's now whether we can find power and toughness to put into play quickly. No. So a Wasteland will kill us here. Because we won't be able to, unless we top deck another Bazaar, followed by 2 lizards. They found another Bazaar. It seems like it seems unfair to be top decking Bazaars when you're so far ahead. But hey ho. What are you gonna do? What we're gonna do is probably go to game 2. Well, we're almost certainly gonna go to game 2. Vengevine, Squee, Mindbreak Trap. Okay, they've got 2 cards in hand. We have to assume that's a Force of Will. They're going to send us to 2. And we have to find a Vengevine this turn, basically. Fury would do a lot for us. It's a Serum Powder. No. That is not the trick there. So, good game. We're going to go to game 2. Man, our opener was ridiculous, and they just walked through it like it wasn't there. That was cool. So, same as before. Petrified Field, 2 Ghost Quarters, the Vigor, the 2 Furies, 2 Surgicals. Negation's going to go. Trap's going to go. Chalice is going to go. 2 forces are going to go. So this is what we're running. Now the big question is whether we want to be on the play or the draw. So the advantage of being on the play is you get to dump all your creatures into play faster. The advantage of being on the draw is if they don't dump their creatures into play, you get to be the first one to play a wasteland. Right? So, is that an advantage? I think it's not. I don't think it is. But you saw how cool it was for my opponent to be on the draw then. Just, they had the hand that neutralised mine and wasted me and then went for it. I'm still going to go on the play, don't worry. But I always think it's an interesting thing to think about. I think I want to get hold of someone to play some heads-up matches of the mirror to play the draw sort of thing. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's go to the game. Okay, game 2 up against Constructed. We are on the play and we're going to take the play. We've got a hand of cards. Let's see where they go. They kept 7. I'm going to activate. I am going to activate. So Squee, Lizard, Force of Will. So we've got not a lot to report, actually. Yeah, no Noxious, no Petrified Field, no Wasteland from them though, so that's pretty big game. We're going to get a Fury off. We've got a Vigor for a bunch of hollow ones. Lizard, Vengevine, that's fine. It's just how many Noxious Revivals to have. This is cool, So provided no hollow ones, this looks pretty decent for us. So we're going to get to untap with a Bazaar of Baghdad in play, which is in fact pretty good. Our opponent is not going to be able to do that. I'm going to take 4. My plan is to Fury it, and we're going to hope that our opponent has sideboarded in a manner which doesn't have Force of Will in their deck. I know we have been, but that's just because we're so low on forces. Master of Death, banger. Let's give it a spin. Petrified Field, Fury, Squee. So I think I'm going to discard the 2 Squees and a Vigor. Then I can play Fury pitching Fury. And if that gets countered, we can lose quickly. Is that right? Or do we want to discard? The other option is discard Master of Death, Vigor. Master of Death, Vigor, Fury pitch Squee. If that gets countered, we've got draw next turn into red card. Because we do need to stabilise this board. But they shouldn't have many Force of Wills in their deck. Right, that's the thing. But then it's just back-breaking when they do. And like Marta did last round, I have now, so maybe that logic doesn't actually hold up anymore. But then the Vigors are so good. The Vigors are so good against Hollow One. Oh shit, I don't know. But so are the Furies. No, that's not true. Right, I'm going to discard 1 Vigor, 1 Squee, and the other Vigor. I'm just going to go for that. I'm going to discard my red Squee to the Fury. And that's going to clear out Lizard, Vengevine. That is going to clear out Lizard, Vengevine. And now we're going to wasteland them after thinking about an attack. No. So post-combat main, we'll hit them with the old wasteland. They've got 6 cards, so they can definitely have a Noxious, they can definitely have another Bazaar. No Noxious there, no Noxious there. So they can definitely have another Bazaar, but we've got another wasteland lined up. We've got another Fury lined up if we can hit red. They've got a strip mine, we've got a petrified field. They could have a surgical though, so that'd be tragic. I will block. I like my boards empty with no permanents in play, please. So yeah, we're pretty exposed to surgical extraction here. But we've made our land drop, so that's good. Now, in their upkeep, we have the age-old problem of when do we pick up our Bazaar of Baghdad. We don't want to give them the draw step because that could be a surgical. If they surgical us now, we've got no protection. We've already discarded one of our 2 Force of Wills, so we've only actually got 1 Force of Will and 1 misstep to get it back with. So I'm just going to go now before they can draw an extraction. If they extract me, they extract me. They were going to extract me anyway. They did not extract us, so that's very exciting. They found another Bazaar themselves. Can they find another Vengevine? If they do find a Vengevine, we're probably far enough behind that we need to go spinning. Vengevine. Hollow one. Alright. No, Vengevine, Squee, sorry. It was a Squee Goblin Nabob. Nabob's here. Mental misstep. So that's good. I'm going to wasteland them. Wasteland's good because it fights Noxious. Sorry, I haven't got this laid out particularly well. But we've been through 2 of their Bazaars for one of ours. Both players on 5 cards in hand, 46 cards in deck. This looks like a Noxious, smells like a Noxious. Counter your Noxious. Do you have more Noxious revivals? No. We are dead to the Vengevines ever coming back though. So that's a wasteland, that's not cool. Noxious. So I certainly think we're playing and spinning. We're going to discard Master of Death, Serum Powder, Force of Vigor. We'll cast a Hollow One. So now we're not dead, so dead to the Vengevines coming back because we can discard one of them. Force of Vigor, pitching Force of Vigor is fine. I'm going to waste my Noxious now, and I think that's bad, to be honest with you, because now I can pick up my Noxious, pick up my Bazaar of Baghdad. See, unless they've already got the surgical rolled up, you want to wait till your main phase to wasteland them. Yeah, they got nothing there. We get to pick up a Squee and have a Bazaar of Baghdad. We're back to being completely cold to the thingamabobs coming back. And now we found a second Bazaar. So if this is the end of their Bazaar stuff, yeah. No strip mine, no Bazaar of Baghdad. So we've won that battle over the Bazaars. The Squee comes back. surgical extraction. So we'll play our second Bazaar. We're going to draw step them. I don't see the point in spinning right now. Attack your Bazaar of Baghdad's. There's no point in spinning right because we know we're discarding everything. So we can just spin on end step and just go ham. So their hand is their hand is useless. They've got 6 cards though, so they're on their way. They've got ley lines in their deck. And 3 surgicals, I guess. 2 surgicals. 1 snapback. 1 fury? 4 force of will. Wow. 1 fury. Okay. So we should be fine here. We should be able just to convert this slowly. The one thing we've got to be careful of is the Vengevines coming back. But the good thing there is that they can only do that in their end step, which means we get to see it happen, sort of thing. That's 2 squeeze. Yeah, I'm going to give this an activate and upkeep. That's 2 more squeeze. Tasty. We'll go to 5. Our life total doesn't matter at this point, really. Fuck. More squeeze than we know what to do with. And I will roll this petrified field into play. They're at 18, so we've got some work to do. But, you know, we're so far ahead. How many masters do I want? I definitely want the 2 red boys. They're on 7 cards. So I guess I can not bring back all of them. That was smart. Let's activate this one first. See if we can get there. We can. So lizard, squee, master. And then I'm just going to fury the sky and attack. How many Vengevines is that? 2. Seems good. Seems good. Now we won't bring back any of the Master of Deaths next turn. And if they wasteland us, I think this is like worthy of a note. If they wasteland us at this point with 2 Bazaars, we'll just ignore that, right? And we'll leave the petrified field where it is because it counters one of those cards. Surgical, it counters a surgical. So it's going to be hard for them to come back from this. They are going to get to discard something here though. I imagine it's going to be a squee. Yeah. And we're not going to bring back the masters because our surgical's got the Vengevines under wraps now. So I am going to activate again. I'm not going to Noxious back and activate. I am going to activate. For shame. We put them to 1 so they can't force of will us now. And we can attack around them. And they pick up the Squee and discard 2 lizards. So we should have this completely rolled up. Unless they manage to double Furious. Oh no, because I've got Vengevines. Duh. They've conceded. Cool. I've got Surgical, so it's cool. 2 life and a Surgical. So they kept in 4 full Force of Wills. What do we think about that? I think I don't like it. That's what I think of that. I'm going to resubmit. Maybe this was the joke all along. Maybe it was just 3 Surgicals was fine. Stop there. Who knows? Okay, game 3 against Constructed in the Mirror again. They've powdered away 7. 2 hollow ones of note. We're going to be powdering away Vigor Extraction of note. And 2 Squeeze, but these Squeeze aren't very good in this matchup now. They're great, but they're less. The blue Squeeze are less important now that we've taken out a bunch of blue pitch. So opponents they're in the tank, so maybe it's just like a triple leyline crap hand or something like that. Trap hand, I should say. Sorry. Whoops. No, they powdered again. What do they have? Leyline. Yeah. So they thought about it, but 2 Vengevines have gone. So let's see what they do. Is this another close one? Because mulligans don't usually take this long to resolve. You just click your buttons and then say yes. Like Wasteland, Surgical U. I don't know. I don't know what that can be. That's difficult. It's hard to win without the Bazaar. And my 1 Bazaar activation can kill you if you don't have a Bazaar. So they've mulliganed to 6. Right, cool. I'm going to powder. And I'm going to probably keep this. Blue card is going to be a phenomenal draw. They've mulliganed to 5. And at that point, you've just got to go and find Bazaar of Baghdad, right? So, like, yeah, no more thinking about your non-Bazaar hands. I've declared 7. Like, you can only get back into it with a Bazaar active. So yeah, they've got a Leyline of the Void. So they're down to 4 cards, really. Leyline's great because it protects my Bazaars against Surgical. Leyline's not so great because it's just, I don't have a graveyard. A bit upsetting. They do have a Bazaar and a Leyline, so not ideal. But we knew that coming in. Alright, so I'd like to top deck a Wasteland now, please. It's not a Wasteland. Okay, so now we're on Surgical, please. None of it at all. So we'll get rid of Powder, Petrified, Force, and we'll cast a Hollow one. Yeah, and double Squee Vengevine on your Molta 5 with a Leyline. Pretty decent. The thing we're banking on now is the fact that we've got Furies, which are hopefully going to clear the path for our solitary threat. Squee Vengevine. Strip mine, fine. Okay, again, I would like to top deck a wasteland. Komodo, respond. Noxious revival. Okay, I accept. Okay, Vengevine can go, Squee can go, Fury can go. And we'll get in for 4. So we've got a Fury behind. I kept the Noxious because it can cancel a Vengevine. It's also a green card. I think it's more applicable than the other one. So do I want to be surgicling the 2 masters here? Because the thing with surgicling the masters is annoying. I don't like this play, but I am going to do it. Modo's really slow. I just need to slow down their flow of cards. So their hand is Ghost Quarter, Noxious Revival, Surgical Extraction. There's a Force of Negation in their deck, instead of the Fury they had last time. Which is wild to me, because I can't cast non-creature spells on my own turn. So my Bazaar is dead again. Their Bazaar is rolling. I could have topped the Squee as well. That's certainly an option. They didn't exile any Vigors. So my hollow one is not particularly safe. Oh shit, that was their revealed hand. What was that? Noxious, Surgical, Ghost Quarter. And this is just the power of Leyline of the Void against us. But... and Strip Mine, I guess. So a wasteland from us would be like pretty fantastic. Back up to 7. Seems tough. Seems like a tough one. I think we just need them to brick on Vigors and green cards. But we've, tried to get in the way of their engine a little bit. That might not be the most effective game plan, to be honest with you. I wasn't a fan of the play when I did it. But I don't think I'm ever winning without that play. Okay, our opponent's discarded. They've discarded Bazaar, Squeeze, Surgical. They've played the Ghost Quarter, so we know about Noxious now. And no other cards. That was quite a good draw. They found a Vigor. Vigor exiling the Noxious. Okay. So I'm going to play my Bazaar of Baghdad and activate it because I need to go and find something to do. I'm going to go down to... Does Noxious do anything? No, I don't think so. So I'm going to get rid of my Force of Will, one of my squeeze. I'm just going to hold Fury Squee. And they're going to push ahead now, which is upsetting. If we were doing well, it's just we haven't been able to find a wasteland in our top 20 cards. They pitched their Force of Vigor as well, so that's a really good turn to top deck wasteland. I won't complain too hard about top decking the Bazaar, but... Okay, 2 cards in hand now for the opponent. I am going to spin again just because I want to find a wasteland. I want to find it now. Okay, I have a 1/1. I have a 1/1 and access to my graveyard. This is going to be the turn they reanimate, isn't it? You just know it. And we're waiting just because we can bink a hollow one that they plop into play or something. Because they're more than halfway through their deck now. So yeah, it's likely that they have blue card Force of Will. They discard a Bazaar of Baghdad. So they just like flush for Noxious or something. Bazaar Squee Noxious is what the discards were there. Force of Will, pitching Force of Will, sure. This is a free activation. Oh my god, this game. It's a free activation for when we go and look for lizards. Fucking hell, that was the whole game there. That's the whole game. That was brutal. So we've only seen one lizard as well, right? Yeah. I've seen one lizard this whole game. That was completely savage. Our opponent is thinking. So one play I can make is I can Noxious the Squee, and then they don't get much advantage this turn. But I think that's pointless, actually, because I'd rather have the card to make the discard equity decision next turn. I'll consider throwing the Noxious away if they bink Vengevine. Yeah, reanimating Vengevine is the only way I would use the Noxious here. So let's attack for 1. It's a long road home from here with just the blazing. But weirder things have happened. They get a squeeze, so they go up to 3 cards, up to 5, and then get some discards after that. They've not seen many lizards either, so it's not hard for them to come up with something pretty strong. So on the right there you've got my exile pile. There we go, yeah. Putting a lizard into play. Probably means a hollow one to come with it. Yep. I am going to Noxious the Vengevine. And then they've got a hollow one, which isn't good for us. I am going to activate again on my upkeep, despite getting... Oh no, I'm not at all. Ignore me. 1, 2, 3 Bazaars have gone. Force of Vigor. So we'll pass the turn. This has not gone well, but never mind. So I'll get my chump block on. Pray for a green card. They're holding SqueeVine +2. SqueeVine Lizard. Hollow one here would kill us. They didn't find it. So, yeah. A frustrating defeat, but certainly a matchup that I was disrespecting and sideboarding, right? I'm on 3 surgicals in my whole deck. My opponent bought a bunch. They bought 6. So I'm getting a bit aggressive with it all, but... Oh, no attacks. We take gifts. Surgical extraction. Okay. I need green card, really. I'm going to surgical the Vengevines now. Oh, 1, 2, 3. So it's only 1 Vengevine, actually. Yeah, I'm still going to do it. They can have their squeeze. They can have their lizards. Oh, they're paying costs. Not just the Vengevine. Sure. Sure. They've got a way to bring it back this turn. Put me out of my misery. Thank you. Cool. So we lose. Yeah, Leyland's very good against us. Good games. Okay, final round with 3-1. We're up against Mario Braga. I'll keep this. This is going to be Bazaar and Go. Don't know what Mario plays. But I know there's some form of regular. Like, we see them a lot. But I have no idea what they play. I don't know if they play too many of the older challengers these days. But it's certainly a name I recognise quite a lot. So... let's see what Mario brings to battle. So Mario's bought 7 cards and a keep. No Lurus, which is a shame because the whole idea of this petrified field main deck thing was to have some game against these Lurus, Bowmaster, Lorien revealed bug piles that are floating around. But never mind. This is my Bazaar of Baghdad, and it's now your turn. Give me your thoughts. And the reason we're doing Bazaar Go here is because if we're playing against shops, some of our cards are really good. If we're playing against just turn 1 Wasteland, we get an activation with more info. Forbidden Orchard, we're playing against Oath of Druids. Okay, that's cool to know about. That means this Force of Vigor is pretty good, right? This Force of Negation is pretty good, so it's probably just going to like discard the 2 that we draw. I changed my mind. I'm going to get rid of a petrified field. I'm going to get rid of Chalice. Like, we've missed the window for the zeros to be really good. That's when it's turn 1. So, hold the blue card, hold the green card. Now it's our turn. Okay, same again. Seven cards in hand. Holding the Bazaar of Baghdad. We don't need them knowing it's good. We've got a Spirit Token. And a Lorien revealed. Okay, nice. So, they get a trop. So the reason we hold the Bazaar is it makes their wastelands look really powerful. Time Walk's fine. You got it. Let's see. We've got an Oath. We've got a Show and Tell. Because show and Tell means that on our activation, we've got good Force of Vigor and Noxious Revival discards as we go and dig for blue cards. We'd rather it be an Oath of Druids though. Oath of Druids we've got aggressively covered. But let's see. Okay, they've played a Veseiju, so that's a big thought. They give me a token. 3 mana. Show and Tell. I'm going to activate Bazaar in response. Jesus Christ, that was bad. And that's a disadvantage of not playing Bazaar, right? Is when you just draw absolute air. Yeah, we're probably just going to lose now because I didn't play that Bazaar. Okay, they've got the Force back. Our trap's not awake. So, Show and Tell resolves. Please be a house. Oh, it's an Oath of Druids. It's just an Oath of Druids. Blow that up. Blow that up nicely, thank you. Whew. How lucky. How lucky indeed. That was an interesting line our opponent took though, right? Like, you could have just played an Oath of Druids. You could have Besage'd my Bazaar of Baghdad and played an Oath of Druids next turn. So yeah, quite an interesting one. Very lucky on our part that they're showing in an Oath. Yeah, let me know what you think of that that discard, that not playing the Bazaar, I mean. So we bring in the 4th Vigor. Chalice is bad, Fury is bad. I'm somewhat interested in another trap. I'm going to drop the Petrified Fields, I think. They've got Besage'd and Strip Mine, but... Let's drop a Red Lizard. I could drop 2 Red Lizards and keep a Petrified Field. What does that look like? Looks kind of cool to me. Like, the Lizards are bad. Unless you're bringing back 1 to 4 Vengevines. But the rest of the time, they're not so good. So powdering away a Caracas and a Snapback, which is a shame. So that's 2 of the answers we've just brought in. 2 of our good sideboard cards against the creature, Atraxa. So we'll go to 6. We'll keep this. We'll keep this. Put back a Wasteland. Wasteland or Noxious, actually? So Noxious means we can Bazaar in the future. Let's get rid of Noxious. Because we're so unprotected at the moment that maybe just leading Caracas will be cool. Island, air, cool. So what, you know? There's no way to do this without discarding a hollow one. We could just play other lands first. We could just say Bazaar go. So what I'm thinking is if I go Wasteland, I don't know. So I'm just going to get so hosed by Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. It's like draw, discarding the 2 cards I draw, plus Wasteland and or Caracas. If I hit a blue card, then I'm less interested in discarding. So I'm going to end up discarding a hollow one. So would I rather just play a Wasteland and nerd out next turn? But the thing with not playing Wasteland is that the thing with not playing Bazaar is that I can't draw into blue card against the Oath of Druids. Oh, it's the whole thing. Let's just play a Bazaar and activate it. That's what we came here to do. Aye. Alright, these 3 are going. These are my hollow ones. Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to play that. To be instate against Oath of Druids, Tabernacle. Fuck knows. Okay, they're force of willing one of them. Therefore, unlikely to have a Tabernacle right now. They did just Mystical for Ancestral though, so back up to 5 cards, possibly a Tabernacle. Mock Sapphire, Misty Rainforest, Tropical, and an Oath. So we're going to attack for 8. And we're going to play a Wasteland. And pass the turn. So Wasteland is going to protect us against the Tabernacle now. Caracas is going to bounce the Atraxa next turn. Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright. Fuck is this? Seiju. I need blue cards. I need to keep Caracas. I need to could keep Petrified Field. The thing's dying anyway, so yeah, let's just let it go. Alright, do I feed them a hollow one? So let's give them a hollow one if they want it. Giving them hollow one means that they can't Oath. No blocks. Petrified Field. So, yeah. I mean, they're going to Attractor us and then they're going to Force of Will us and we're going to die. We can't draw Snapback. Attractor. Yeah, no, this is as good as over. Spell Pierce kills us. Tinker, Lorien Build. Not the best, but it's still going to be good enough. Right, let's go to the next one. Cause am I dead? Forbidden Orchard, Force of Will, Mox Jet, Show and Tell. What if they cast a Show and Tell? They've got Hardcast Force up. They've got Hardcast Force, so I need to get up to Snapback Force of Will. This is well over. Cool. Never mind. If they don't Oath into the Sphinx, maybe we have game. I'm going to resubmit. Maybe if they don't Oath into the Sphinx, we have game. How true is that? They draw a bunch of cards. We Caracas them and get in for the same 8 points of damage. And then we Caracas them if they don't needle us. Powder away. Alright, this looks like a hand that we should be able to do something with. Bazaar, go. My favourite opener. Didn't see a ley line that game. Fuck off. Good grief. Okay, so Bazaar go still. Probably not. Probably not. Oh, I just got the Vengevine. Oh, I've had a couple of misclicks this evening, which have been punishing. Oh, dearie me. Okay. We just need to find another green card. How hard's that? Oh, I discarded the Vengevine. Oh, I'm sorry about that one. I was supposed to discard 2 squeeze. I think I can wait, right? No plays, which is nice. Tropical Island. Mox Ruby. Oko Thief of Crowns. It's a no from me, bro. Mox Jet. So the reason we can wait is because we can then get up to 2 cards in hand. Squee +1. Naturally. I'm still going to spin it. Timing. Is everything. Shit, so what does that mean? Well, we're going to Vigor Jet plus. Let's think about this. They've just vamped. So let's say they vamped for Show and Tell, vamped for Tinker. Maybe I'll just let them have it. And then start off with, in response, Vigor you. Oh no. Nothing? Oh, there's. So they just vamped for Beseju. What if they've got Flusterstorm in hand? If I fight this and they fluster me, we lose. If they draw into fluster, they fluster me, we lose. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to assume they vamped for Ancestral. That got through. That got through. Upkeep. Yeah. I would have liked that Bazaar. No, thank you though. The reason we say no there is because we need to find Squeeze to get this game moving in our favour. We can't just turn on a rando isolated Oath of Druid in their hand. Land. Nothing. So we go up. Mental misstep. I'm going to spin again. I will discard this lizard and say no. Oh shit, that's tough though. Right. They've got one card in hand. It's not been relevant so far. I really don't want to put these creatures into play. I really don't. But that's how I win. What if it's just a Tabernacle that they've got? Then it's the same as me saying no, but they get better Tabernacle. If it's Oath, we die. Yeah. I feel like it's forced. When it's 6 power, I feel like we're forced to do it. When it's just like a random lizard, I feel like we can't. We can say no and dig for Squeeze. No plays. Okay, I've got no idea what their hand is then. Jesus. Just... So if they miss on Oath this turn... I'm not against stripping their green source. I think I might. They play Lorien as well. Well, that's a big draw. Do I just get a strip mine then? Or do I just play my Caracas? That's probably a bad activation actually, because I had draw step petrified field. They're at 6, so Oath no longer works. Stay to my hollow one. I'm going to strip mine their green source. No, I can't do that. That's suicidal. I'm going to play Caracas. Because it's really difficult, because if I use the field on something that's not Bazaar of Baghdad, we're going to take a draw step. Vengevine, beautiful. Give me a Bazaar. Let's activate Bazaar. Tasty. Squee, at last, you're here. You made it. We're having a party without you. Oh, sorry, I just knocked over my microphone. Cool. Fade Oath. 1. Probe me. Polluted Delta. Squeeze back. Okay. We get 1 good activation here. This deck, man, it hates me. Hates me so much. Noxious Revival. Yeah, give me a hollow one. Is that right? No, it's stupid, Josh. Come on. Let's just activate. Lizard, please. I was paying you for lizard. Right, so Oath doesn't save them. Showing in anything other than a Sphinx of Steel Wind doesn't save them. Holding Lizard because we need the good Vengevine turn. I like the bit where they're flooding out and we didn't strip mine their green source. That makes me feel good. But Jesus Christ, what a game this was. What it is. There was a lot of points where I feel like I had lots of options and lots to think about. Let's just hope that these 2 Bazaar activations get us there. Any creature does it, obviously. Give me a creature. Well done. Three Vengevine, sir. That's my proposition to you. Well done. Okay, so 4-1 record today. Losing the mirror, which we have really not respected at all. Right. 3 surgicals is not particularly looking like we're prepped for Bazaar. We managed to sneak one out when we won the Bazaar battle. But because most of these things occurred more than 6 minutes ago, I can't remember what we played against. Combo, Bazaar, Oath. So yeah, that Oath turn where I put the threats into play, I'm still unsure about. I would be curious what people think. Because in that spot where it's just like we're top decking, putting rando lizards into play isn't very good. That's why I pressed no on the first one, because we want to go find some squeeze, build up a nice card advantage engine, and then control the game and bring back the Vengevines as and when we're ready to. The disadvantage of doing that though is like of just discarding lizard hollow one and doing nothing is if our opponent has a draw like they had, where it's just, let's say it's just permission and lands. It's not good to be discarding 6 power, right? So let me know what you think, but thanks for watching and I'll catch you again soon.